It's been years since Patrick Swayze's death, yet his presence still lingers in every corner of his family's life. In 2025, his widow, Lisa Niemi, and his devoted nieces continue to honor the man who stole Hollywood's heart with Dirty Dancing and Ghost. Through heartfelt tributes, charity work, and a fierce commitment to preserving his legacy, they've kept Swayze's name alive. Time may have passed, but the love and the legend shows no signs of fading. Meet Patrick Swayze's wife and niece now. Lisa Niemi first met Patrick Swayze as a teenager in Houston, Texas, at Patsy Swayze's dance studio, run by Patrick's mother. It was the kind of place where talent and ambition collided, a training ground for dancers, dreamers, and young performers. Lisa, serious about her craft, had no idea that walking into that studio would change her life forever. Their first encounters, however, were far from a fairy tale. In an April 2024 appearance on the Amy and TJ podcast, Lisa recalled with laughter, "We had a little contentious start because he had a kind of reputation as a Casanova. I had a reputation as a bad girl, and we were supposed to stay away from each other." Despite those warnings, fate seemed determined to bring them together. Beneath their youthful bravado, something deeper was stirring. "I knew that something was going to happen between us that was significant," Lisa said. "I had every confidence in every bone that that was going to happen." Even then, she sensed that Patrick would play an extraordinary role in her life. After finishing high school, Patrick left Houston to pursue his performing dreams in New York City, enrolling at the prestigious Joffrey Ballet School. Lisa, after her own graduation, soon followed him there, a bold move that reflected not only her love for him, but also their shared devotion to dance. In New York, they both earned coveted spots with the Joffrey Ballet, honing their artistry side by side and navigating the challenges of a competitive world. It was a period of hard work, artistic growth, and emotional bonding, as the two young dancers supported each other through the highs and lows of life on the stage. Their partnership quickly blossomed into something permanent. In 1975, at just 19 years old, Lisa married 23-year-old Patrick. Their wedding marked the beginning of a love story that would last over 3 decades, one built on loyalty, respect, and creative collaboration. Patrick's charm and intensity were balanced perfectly by Lisa's quiet strength and grace. Not long after their marriage, Patrick's career began to take off. In 1978, he made his Broadway debut, stepping into the spotlight as Danny Zuko in Grease, replacing none other than John Travolta. The show's director, Tom Moore, later reminisced about their dynamic, saying, "It was always touching for me to see them together. They were the perfect couple." One of the most remarkable aspects of their relationship was their shared passion for flying. Both Patrick and Lisa were licensed pilots, and aviation became one of their favorite escapes from the pressures of Hollywood life. The couple often took to the skies in their own planes, relishing the sense of freedom that came with flying. For them, piloting wasn't just a hobby, it was symbolic of the independence and trust that defined their marriage. Each flight reflected their teamwork, with Patrick's daring spirit perfectly balanced by Lisa's calm precision. Their love of adventure also extended to their homes. They built a peaceful life together on a horse ranch outside Los Angeles, surrounded by animals and the tranquility of nature. When they weren't in California, they spent time at their larger ranch in New Mexico, a sprawling property that became a retreat from the fast-paced entertainment world. Horses were another shared passion. Both Patrick and Lisa were skilled riders, and they would spend hours exploring trails together, finding solace and connection in the rhythm of horseback riding. Those rides, often through breathtaking landscapes, became moments of reflection and deep emotional intimacy, reminders of their simple, shared joys. That spirit of strength and togetherness carried them through their darkest time. In January 2008, Patrick was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, a devastating blow that tested their resilience. But Lisa refused to let despair take over. Demonstrating her incredible loyalty and courage, she would personally fly her husband to his chemotherapy treatments at Stanford University, piloting the plane herself. Each flight was an act of love and defiance, her way of fighting back against the disease that threatened to take him away. When Patrick Swayze took on what would become one of the most iconic roles of his career, Johnny Castle in Dirty Dancing, 1987. His greatest collaborator wasn't a Hollywood co-star, but his wife, Lisa Niemi. Long before the cameras rolled, Lisa was by his side, helping him shape the character that would capture the hearts of millions. Their creative connection ran deep, born from years of shared training, discipline, and trust. Patrick often said that Lisa was his anchor. His sounding board, critic, and muse rolled into one. "She was there a lot because I depend on Lisa," Patrick told People in 2007. "My most important rehearsals were with Lisa in a hotel room. We'd practice over and over and over. Their living space would transform into a dance studio, the floor becoming their rehearsal stage as they refined every movement and emotion. Lisa's trained dancer's eye and intuitive understanding of Patrick's style allowed her to push him to his best performance. Their sessions were not only technical, but emotional. She helped him tap into Johnny Castle's depth, confidence, and quiet vulnerability. Patrick later admitted that Lisa was essential in building nearly every role he played. "Lisa and I have built just about every character I've done," he said. "You have to understand, we have an ease. I'd been married a long time when I did Dirty Dancing, and it just gave me so much to bring." That ease he spoke of was the product of years of shared work and love, a deep creative language that didn't require words. When Patrick danced with Jennifer Grey on screen, the emotion audiences felt came in part from the real-life energy he had already explored countless times with Lisa. Their partnership extended far beyond the film set. They were collaborators in nearly every area of life, raising horses together, managing their music business, and running a wildlife preserve on their ranch. To Patrick, it was simple. "We've always been a team," he said proudly. Their teamwork wasn't about control or competition. It was about complementing each other's strengths. After more than 3 decades together, their connection had evolved into something almost telepathic. "We have an unspoken language after all these years," Patrick reflected. That silent understanding allowed them to navigate not only creative challenges, but also life's most difficult moments. In every way that mattered, Lisa was not just his wife. She was his partner in art, in love, and in the dance that defined both their lives. While Lisa Niemi Swayze was often admired as the devoted wife of Patrick Swayze, she was also a talented artist and performer in her own right, an accomplished dancer, actress, writer, and director whose creativity shone both alongside and beyond her husband. Her career was built not merely in the shadow of Patrick's success, but through a shared artistic vision that she helped shape from the beginning. Lisa's early training as a dancer gave her a powerful command of movement and storytelling, qualities that translated naturally into acting. Over the years, she appeared in several of Patrick's films, including the action drama Next of Kin, 1989, and the post-apocalyptic adventure Steel Dawn, 1987, where their on-screen chemistry reflected the deep connection they shared off-screen. Her performances were marked by quiet intensity and emotional precision, qualities that made her a strong presence even in supporting roles. Outside of her collaborations with Patrick, Lisa built a resume of her own. She appeared in the 1988 comedy She's Having a Baby, directed by John Hughes, as well as the early 1990s sci-fi television series Super Force. Her range as a performer extended from drama to light comedy to science fiction, proof that she could easily cross genres and make her mark in each. Beyond acting, Lisa demonstrated impressive talent as a writer and director. Together with Patrick, she co-wrote the stage play Without a Word, a deeply emotional dance drama that explored love, loss, and artistic expression. The play received critical acclaim, earning 6 Drama Critics Circle Awards, a testament to the couple's creative synergy and shared storytelling power. Their project later evolved into the 2003 film One Last Dance, which Lisa not only wrote but also directed and starred in alongside Patrick. The movie was a labor of love, a return to their roots in dance and a cinematic expression of their lifelong artistic partnership. Lisa also made her mark on the stage, appearing on Broadway in the 1993 production of The Will Rogers Follies, where her poise and precision as a performer earned her praise from audiences and peers alike. Her work across multiple disciplines, film, television, theater, and dance, revealed a woman of remarkable depth and discipline. In the final chapter of Patrick Swayze's extraordinary career, his wife Lisa Niemi once again stood beside him, not just as a source of emotional strength, but as a creative partner. When Patrick took on the lead role in the A&E television drama The Beast in 2008, he was already battling pancreatic cancer, having been diagnosed just months earlier. Filmed in Chicago, the gritty series followed an undercover FBI agent torn between duty and morality, a role that demanded emotional intensity and physical endurance. Despite undergoing chemotherapy, Patrick was determined to keep working, refusing to let illness define him. During production, Lisa joined him behind the camera, stepping in to direct an episode of the series. For both of them, it was a moment filled with meaning, a blend of artistry, love, and resilience. Directing her husband during one of the most difficult periods of his life was both an emotional challenge and a profound gift. As Lisa later told People in 2009, he was fantastic. He had challenges because he was still doing chemo, and it wasn't always easy, but he'd suit up and show up. He was always there. Patrick's work ethic never wavered, even on his hardest days. Though the treatments left him drained, he insisted on performing without complaint. The set became a space of quiet strength, a place where both he and Lisa could focus on creation rather than suffering. "He treated me like he was honored to show up on my set," Lisa recalled, her words filled with admiration. It was typical of Patrick. Even while fighting for his life, he showed humility, respect, and professionalism. For Lisa, those days in Chicago were bittersweet. She watched her husband push through exhaustion to deliver powerful performances, and she met his effort with her own focus and compassion as a director. Their collaboration on The Beast represented the essence of their marriage. Two artists supporting one another through triumph and hardship, committed to their craft and to each other. Patrick's illness was first revealed to the public in March 2008, and while the news sent shockwaves through Hollywood, those close to the actor knew that he approached the disease with characteristic strength. His physician, Dr. George Fisher of Stanford University, told the press in April that Patrick had a very limited amount of disease and he appears to be responding well to treatment thus far. That glimmer of hope fueled both him and Lisa, who refused to give in to despair. Together they researched treatments, flew to Stanford for chemotherapy, with Lisa often piloting the plane herself, and clung to their faith in one another. Despite the toll of the illness, Patrick continued to work, determined to live life on his own terms. He filmed his final television series, The Beast, in Chicago, while undergoing intensive chemotherapy. Lisa visited the set frequently, directing one of the episodes and serving as his constant source of strength. Their partnership during that time became a portrait of devotion under unimaginable pressure. Two people facing mortality yet still choosing to create and love fiercely. But as months passed, Patrick's condition worsened. On September 14, 2009, after 20 months of battling the disease, Patrick Swayze passed away at the age of 57. He and Lisa had been together since she was just 15 years old, soulmates who had spent nearly their entire lives intertwined. In the quiet aftermath of his passing, Lisa reflected on his final moments in a 2010 People interview. "I like to think he knew I was there. I was always afraid I'd freak out. To have your soulmate leave you, it was definitely overwhelming. But at the same time, I knew he was in a better place because he had used every ounce of that body. It was holding him down, and he needed to leave it behind. Throughout their decades together, Patrick Swayze and Lisa Niemi were not only partners in life, but also collaborators in art. Their final shared project, a deeply personal memoir titled The Time of My Life, became a lasting testament to their love, resilience, and creative spirit. The book, which they co-wrote during the final months of Patrick's battle with pancreatic cancer, was published on September 29, 2009, just weeks after his passing. The writing process became a way for them to reflect on a lifetime of shared dreams and struggles, from their teenage romance in Houston to their rise in Hollywood, and finally, to the emotional strength they found during Patrick's illness. Working together on the memoir gave them a sense of purpose amid the uncertainty of his health. Every page was infused with honesty, humor, and the unbreakable connection that had defined their marriage. Patrick recorded the audiobook version himself, and his voice, warm, reflective, and filled with conviction, carried a special poignancy. "Whenever someone asks me what my legacy is, I say the same thing," he said. "I'm not finished yet." That single line captured his determination to keep living, creating, and loving, even in the face of mortality. The book offered readers an intimate look into his philosophy of life, his love for Lisa, and the courage that sustained him until the end. The Time of My Life quickly became a New York Times bestseller, earning praise for its emotional depth and authenticity. 3 years later, Lisa carried the story forward in her own memoir, Worth Fighting For: Love, Loss, and Moving Forward, 2012. Written with both heartbreak and hope, the book chronicled her journey through Patrick's cancer treatment, his final months, and the painful process of learning to live without him. Lisa opened up about the private realities of caregiving, grief, and healing, describing both the unbearable moments and the unexpected flashes of strength that kept her going. Like their first collaboration, Worth Fighting For struck a powerful chord with readers, becoming another New York Times bestseller. It was more than just a continuation of Patrick's story. It was Lisa's way of honoring his spirit while finding her own path forward. Together, the two books stand as a literary reflection of a love story that transcended fame, time, and loss, a legacy written not only in words, but in the enduring bond they shared. In the years following Patrick Swayze's death, Lisa Niemi Swayze transformed her grief into purpose, becoming a passionate advocate for pancreatic cancer awareness and research. Determined to honor her husband's memory, she devoted herself to helping others facing the same devastating disease that claimed his life. Shortly after his passing in 2009, Lisa joined the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, PanCAN, as a spokesperson, lending her voice, visibility, and compassion to the cause. Her advocacy work was driven by first-hand experience. The months she spent caring for Patrick, witnessing both his courage and the challenges patients face in navigating treatment. Through public appearances, interviews, and fundraising events, Lisa helped shed light on a disease often diagnosed too late and fought with too few resources. Her goal was not only to raise awareness, but to inspire hope and action. She became a fixture at PanCAN events, speaking with patients, families, and researchers, always emphasizing the importance of early detection and continued research funding. In 2017, Lisa took another meaningful step to continue Patrick's legacy. She decided to auction off many of his personal belongings, with part of the proceeds benefiting the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. It was a deeply emotional decision, one that reflected both love and courage. After Patrick passed away, I meticulously packed away all of his clothing items, Lisa told People at the time. I always figured at some point I would do an auction. Every item that I've gone through tells a story, and I want people to know that. It says so much about him and who he was. The collection included some of Patrick's most cherished possessions, each carrying a piece of his spirit. Among them were his leather jacket from Dirty Dancing, a timeless symbol of his role as Johnny Castle, and the wetsuit he wore in Point Break, reminders of his adventurous and passionate nature. Other items ranged from personal photographs and scripts to clothing he wore during significant moments in his life and career. For Lisa, parting with those items was not about letting go of the past, but about sharing Patrick's story with others. Each object became a vessel for memory, carrying the love, humor, and strength that defined him. Through her advocacy and generosity, Lisa ensured that Patrick's fight against pancreatic cancer would continue, not as a tragedy, but as a beacon of hope for others still battling the disease. After losing Patrick Swayze in 2009, Lisa Niemi Swayze spent several years rebuilding her life and rediscovering who she was beyond the immense loss. Though she continued to honor Patrick's memory through her advocacy and creative work, she never expected love to find her again. Yet fate had other plans. Through mutual friends, Lisa met Albert DePrisco, a Boston-based jeweler known for his quiet charm and grounded nature. What began as a friendship slowly deepened into something meaningful, proving that love could bloom even after heartbreak. Lisa and Albert dated for about a year and a half before he proposed. Their relationship was marked by understanding, respect, and patience, especially regarding Lisa's enduring love for Patrick. When Albert asked her to marry him, it brought unexpected emotions to the surface. As Lisa later shared with People in 2014, "I have to say that the love I have for Patrick was never in conflict or competition with my feelings for Albert. That is until Albert asked me to marry him. The proposal forced her to confront her feelings about moving forward, to reconcile the past with the possibility of a new future. Albert knew I still loved Patrick and would always love him," she said. "And he told me, 'And I know you love me, and I love you. How could I not marry this man?'" His compassion and security gave her the courage to open her heart again. As she reflected on the decision, she realized her doubts were fading. "As I had time to process the change my life was going to take, my doubts became less and less, and I became more and more sure." In May 2014, Lisa and Albert married in an intimate ceremony in Palm Beach, Florida, surrounded by family and close friends. It was a joyful celebration, not a replacement for what she had lost, but a continuation of her journey. She carried Patrick's memory with her into this new chapter, finding peace in knowing that love doesn't diminish when shared. It expands. However, not everyone was supportive. During an appearance on the Amy and TJ podcast in April 2024, Lisa revealed that some fans of Patrick criticized her decision to remarry. "I got a lot of flack," she admitted. "There are some pretty rabid Patrick fans out there who think I'm evil. You just learn to deal with it and move on." Despite the negativity, Lisa remains unapologetic about embracing happiness again. Her story stands as a testament to the human heart's remarkable ability to heal, to hold on to one great love while still welcoming another. Even after more than a decade since Patrick Swayze's passing, Lisa Niemi continues to speak with warmth, gratitude, and deep affection about their shared life together, a bond that clearly transcended time and death. The dancer, actress, and writer has often reflected on the profound love and spiritual connection that defined her 34-year marriage to Patrick, describing it as something that remains alive in her heart. At the Women's Conference in 2009, just weeks after Patrick's death, Lisa spoke candidly about her grief, but also about the enduring link she still felt. "I am so grateful for what I had and my connection to him, and part of me believes that I will see him again," she shared with quiet conviction. "And I'm just going to have to go on until then." Those words captured the essence of her mourning, not a farewell, but a continuation of love in another form. Over the years, Lisa's perspective has evolved from raw sorrow to a more spiritual understanding of what remains when someone so central to one's life is gone. In 2019, when the emotional documentary I Am Patrick Swayze was released, Lisa again opened up about the ways she still feels his presence. "I still feel like he's in my life," she told People. When you move past the extreme pain of losing someone you love, you actually become close in a different way. Her words resonated deeply with fans who had watched her and Patrick's love story unfold publicly, from their early years as dance partners to their decades of marriage marked by both triumph and tragedy. Lisa often emphasizes that their connection continues in small, meaningful ways. She describes feeling Patrick's spirit guiding her, comforting her, and reminding her of their shared dreams and laughter. In interviews, she has recalled how their bond was built not only on passion, but also on shared values, loyalty, creativity, and a belief in facing life with courage and grace. In 2022, marking the 35th anniversary of Dirty Dancing, the film that cemented Patrick's legacy, Lisa once again paid tribute to her late husband's memory. "I feel like he's with me every day, but of course it'd be nice to have him physically in the room," she told Entertainment Tonight. "But I tell you what, we had a great ride and there's so much to be grateful for." In addition to his wife Lisa Niemi, Patrick Swayze also has a notable niece, Danielle Swayze. Born on April 8, 1988, she grew up close to the Swayze family legacy, which was shaped by her uncle's fame and her father's own acting career. Although she keeps much of her private life out of the spotlight, Danielle first came to public attention in 2017, when she spoke out against the auctioning of Patrick Swayze's personal belongings organized by his widow, Lisa Niemi Swayze. Danielle called the sale a slap in the face to Patrick's family, arguing that cherished memorabilia like costumes, photographs, and love letters should have remained with relatives. She took her concerns public, joining online petitions and speaking to entertainment outlets like Hello Magazine and Radar Online, becoming the most outspoken member of the Swayze family regarding how Patrick's legacy was being handled. After the controversy, Danielle continued to post occasionally about her family on social media, where she also shared glimpses of her personal life. Photos suggest she leads a quiet, family-centered existence, though she has maintained her online presence as a means to preserve her uncle's memory and defend the Swayze name. While her father Don continues to work steadily as a character actor, Danielle herself has stayed mostly outside Hollywood, focusing instead on family and personal causes. As of 2025, Danielle remains a relatively private figure but continues to hold strong opinions about her family's legacy. She has not been featured in major news outlets in recent years, yet she occasionally resurfaces through online posts and fan discussions about Patrick Swayze. Those close to the family describe her as loyal, passionate, and deeply protective of her uncle's memory. While she may not be a public celebrity, Danielle Swayze has become a quiet guardian of the Swayze name, representing the family's emotional connection to one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. What do you think about Patrick Swayze's widow and nieces? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.